Hey everyone, Rob here from Gunfather Milsim, and today I'm bringing you a video about tactical pants, in particular the Idogear G3 pants. I've always thought tactical pants are kind of a silly thing to do videos on, but recently I bought these and I'm really impressed with them. I kind of want to talk about them a little bit. So I'm no stranger to tactical pants and different types of pants that I've had either issued to me or I purchased with my own money over the years. For airsoft and work and all sorts of other crap. Let's get the obvious thing out of the way. These Idogear, you can buy these on Amazon. They cost $70. They are clearly a knockoff version of the Crye Precision G3s. Now, I've never owned a pair of Crye Precision G3s. I've checked them out. I've handled them. I cannot justify the price. Okay, the Crye Precisions cost about $270, give or take. You buy the knee pads for the 30, so basically they're $300 for a pair of tactical pants. From what I've heard from guys I work with that own them or have them, they're great. They're the greatest pants on earth. But personally, I can't justify spending $300 on a pair of pants because I just run into barbed wire and shit, scrape them up, stain them. I just can't handle it. I'll spend money on tactical shit too. I'm not afraid to spend money on scopes and sights and red dots and whatever. I just can't bring myself to spend that money on something that is a perishable item that is going to wear out and break down by something else over time. Now, most people want to compare these pants to the Crye G3, and it's an obvious thing to do because it is a knockoff. Having said that, it's not really a fair comparison at all. It's like comparing a Honda Civic to a BMW M-Class. It's just not even the same league as those pants. I believe a more reasonable and fair approach would be to compare the Idogear pants with pants that are on the market that are kind of a comparable cost. So these are $70. Here I have some, I believe these are proppers. These are $70. I believe these are True Spec. These are about $70. True Spec and proper, those are more common brands that you'll see on the airsoft field or you'll even see regular people using. Are they mil-spec? Yes, they are. Are they as cool as the Cryes? No, nothing is. But I think those are comparable to these Idogear pants. And when you compare the two, for all being approximately the same price, I think you'll find that these Idogears pull way ahead of anything by True Spec or by proper. And that's kind of what I want to talk about today. Now, when it comes to tactical pants, the actual fabric it's made out of, the blend, matters, and it changes the way that the things wear drastically, okay, and how durable they are. These Idogear G3s are 35% cotton, 65% polyester. I personally like cotton polyester blend pants. I think they're comfortable and they wear pretty well. Everything fades no matter what it's made of, but that particular blend I really like. Can't stand 100% cotton. And I'm not a big fan of the nylon cotton blends you find out there. They're kind of hit and miss for me. Some of them are so stiff they feel like cardboard. They are a little more durable than polyester cotton, but for my money, I prefer cotton polyester. Now, the proppers I have here are 50-50 cotton nylon. They're okay. The True Spec I have here are the same blend as this. 35% cotton, 65% polyester. All three of them are ripstop. All three of them have these little ripstop grids that you're probably not going to be able to see on camera. Oh, yeah, you can. This little grid pattern that keeps your pants from, if there's a tear in it, it keeps it from tearing all the way down. Really old school BDUs, that was the problem. Once they tore, the whole fabric would tear all the way down. Not the case. Ripstop is common now. Everybody's got ripstop. So all three have ripstop. So once you get past the material that the pants are actually made of, which is pretty much the same, and look at the actual features, that's where you're going to see the Idogear G3s are really going to pull ahead of the proppers or the True Spec pants. It's not even close. I'm going to go over some of those features now. First off, the Idogear pants just have a shitload of pockets. Not only do they have the standard cargo pockets on the side, they also have this smaller kind of cargo style pocket, which is kind of on the front of the thigh. I honestly didn't think I was going to like that one that much. But after wearing these for 3 days of training, I found myself using that pocket quite a bit. It's real handy. There's also a small little knife pocket here. I'm not really doing it justice. I don't really use that because I don't really carry a knife all the time. But if I were to carry one, I think that's a great placement for it. It's right on the left that same pocket is on the right side. The waistband is adjustable via these two kind of Velcro straps here that has some elastic to them. You pull those and tighten up the waistband. That's a good thing. It's got this stretchy kind of spandex kind of stuff, which is obviously a knockoff from the Crye Precisions, but it works the same way. Keeps your pants from ripping, makes them more comfortable. They not only have that kind of underneath the waistband here, also it's going to be in the crotch area, which is expected, and then around the knee and the built-in knee pads. That stretchiness just makes them a lot more comfortable. You have YKK zippers on your back pockets on both of them, which is a nice feature. I don't really use it much, but it's what it is. The belt closure is Velcro, not button or snap. It's Velcro. Some might not like that because it's loud. I like it because it gives you a lot of adjustability. The belt loops, thick is good. Just makes it more durable. And of course we have our built-in knee pads. Now, look like that. Now when these come in the bag, they actually have their version of the built-in knee pads here that come with it. I installed these for a while. They work well enough. I just didn't find them terribly comfortable. I installed them correctly. When I took a knee, they went right to where they're supposed to go, which worked well. It was always where I needed it to be. I just don't kneel enough to justify the little bit of weight and discomfort of wearing those knee pads all the time. I just don't like the way they feel. But if they're your cup of tea, when I did have them in, there's little bits of Velcro around the edge there. So there's basically 3 bits of Velcro around that knee pad, which correspond to Velcro in this knee pad, and they stay put. They do not move. It does come with this little multicam pad, this piece of fabric that also has Velcro on it that just covers that spot when you're not using the knee pads, and it works great. So I just kept them in because I found them more comfortable without the knee pads than with the knee pads in. But the knee pads do work really well if that's your cup of tea, and unlike the Cryes, it actually comes with those knee pads. Other features that I really like about these pants, there's a little bit of Velcro adjustability behind the knees. So you can tighten up those knees if you want to. Also, there's Velcro adjustability at the ankle right there. So no more blousing your BDUs to make your boots look sharp, which I hate doing. Finally, kind of a neat feature they have on these, in these little pockets on the upper thigh I was talking about, is there's this little kind of tab here, and with this drawstring, what you do when you pull it, it actually raises the knee up to an ideal position for you. Like for me, for example, I'm not terribly tall, but these pants, the knee was a little bit low for me, so I pulled that drawstring and it raised that knee pad right where I needed it to be. This is when I had the knee pads in. Later I took them out, but I left that adjustment in place because it did put that section of the pants right where I want them, right where my knee is at. I've heard, I think, earlier versions of the Idogear pants that may or may not have gone by a different name, because I'm sure the scrap all comes out of the same factory in China, and it then gets sourced out to different companies to sell under different names. I've seen other versions of this, other reviews on YouTube, where instead of it being that little kind of bungee, it is actually like a almost like a nylon strap. And guys have complained that's really uncomfortable, and they actually most of the time they end up removing it. I left this in. I barely notice it. I think it suits me just fine leaving it there. Some guys might want to cut it out because it might bug them. That's your prerogative, but for my part, I'm leaving it in. So I wore these for 3 days of training, a range day, a tactics day, and a rappelling day. Not necessarily the hardest, training I've ever done in my life, but they did hold up fine. There was a little bit of stitching coming off of this pocket here, just a little bit. Didn't affect anything. Do I consider that a big deal? No, not particularly. It didn't damage anything. They still work fine. Little bits of stitching isn't a big deal. When you look over the pants entirely, the stitching is as good or as bad, depending on how you want to look at it, as anything you're going to see from Proper or from True Spec. The stitching is exactly the same. It's uniform. It looks like it's well done. It's double stitched where it should be. It is what it is. The thing is that all these features and all these extra pouches and all this crap, that's a lot more stitching for someone to do than they would do on, say, you know, the True Specs. That's a lot more stitching than someone at a table in China has to fucking put the time in and add all that crap and add all that stitching. That's a lot of labor and a lot of cost, and yet these still cost the same amount as both those. So I guess what I'm saying is you're just getting a lot of bang for your buck. So how will they hold up over time? I suspect these are going to fade at the same rate as the True Specs and the Propers because it's more or less the same material. Yes, dyes used by companies vary from company to company, but all these are more or less made in China anymore. So I suspect it's going to be just fine. The only issue, in my opinion, that you might have with these is there's not a lot of variety with the sizing. Okay, so with a Proper or True Spec, they have the military sizing. So I'm usually a medium regular in that sizing system. But if say you want like a medium long because you're particularly tall, or a medium short because you're particularly short, you're not going to be able to get those in the Idogear. It's just got, you know, small, medium, large, X large, XSL, whatever. There is some sizing on Amazon. There's a sizing chart. I usually wear a medium regular BDU. For this, I'm wearing a large. Large fits just fine. So they do, from what I've seen, you got to go up one size and you'll be comfortable. However, if you're particularly tall or particularly short, these are probably not the pants for you because they just don't have those specific options for you. So that's all I have on the Idogear G3 pants. Really like them. I'm going to be wearing them for a while, both for work and airsoft, and I would not hesitate to purchase another pair for another $70. In fact, I probably will in the near future. So that's all I got for those, and thanks for watching.